This is Luetin. I'm here to give you my initial thoughts about the Aftermath DLC. First up, we're on Markaz Monolith, and this is a huge sort of open urban environment map with lots of huge high-rise buildings. You have scout helicopters, main battle tanks, lightweight vehicles, and it really is a quite visceral, explosive map. Huge amounts of chunks of building coming off the walls everywhere. People have been asking me about the destruction. How good is the destruction? I think you can see pretty much from this how the destruction is. This whole building here has pretty much been cleared out, destroyed. A lot of the buildings on this map are sort of too big to really come crashing down. You still don't have the full kind of Bad Company 2 destruction where the whole building would come down so much, but even so, you have these roadblocks you can see right here in front of me, and these roadblocks can be taken down with RPGs and so on, and the tanks will need to do this to clear it out. So there's a little bit of roadblocks kind of rioting around the map and so on. It has this gorgeous kind of orange tone which makes it really suits the map quite well. I know a lot of people hate the colour tones. I actually don't mind them, and I think it adds a bit of character to the map. It feels very autumnal, and kind of it's quite nice and warm. It feels like there's something definitely kind of going on in the air. The scout helis are definitely a dominating factor in this map, especially if you have someone equipped with you to be a laser designator. You can see the helis moving in here. This whole map, I have to say, it feels very Black Hawk Down-y. I think mainly because the scout helis coming in, and there's some great sort of pickups and stuff. There's some good moments. A lot of street fighting, road to road across the way. You're going to want to take sort of nice long-range assault rifles and things like that. The engineer class on this map is going to be really important. Having a nice strong weapon which is manageable, like the Scar H, is really excellent. Scar H, the ACR performs very well. I like that weapon, but again, it's a bit more of a, there's the ACR, I know it's the ACWR, I call it the ACR. Moving on now into the rest of the map, and we can see we come into this sort of more dark area of the map. Huge destroyed buildings, concrete blocks broken down everywhere, rivets, steel work all over the place. The helicopter coming in, you can see the phone cables there, you see them bouncing. There's a lot of nice animation in a lot of these maps, and everyone so far that is playing these games is loving them. It really is, it's got Carcan-esque elements to it, but it really feels like what everybody wants. It's a lot of really intense, hard gameplay the vehicles are in. To be honest, it's so, you can see already from my gameplay that I've posted today how the maps go down and how intense a lot of the firefighting can be. So for PC players, it's only going to increase, and it's going to be really intense. So I think it's exactly what you want. I think DICE have definitely hit a winner with this DLC. It's really good, and it's going to bring so much life back into the game. There's so much variety between the maps as well. I've seen a few people saying they're very similar, but moving on to EPICENTER, and with EPICENTER, again, you see all the background scenery and everything. The scale of this map is epic, and it's really very different because with Markaz, the map is quite open. It's quite all on one level, but with EPICENTER, you have these split levels. And let's not forget as well the earthquake tremors. A lot of people have been saying, are the earthquake tremors there? How severe are they? The earthquake tremors are here in the map, and it's quite awesome when it happens. Everything starts vibrating, shaking. It's not so extreme. It's not so extreme that it sort of knocks everyone off their feet, or it makes it completely unable to control weapons. I think they wanted to balance it to make it, something that you could feel, an event that's happening in the game, but not so drastic that it kind of ruins gameplays, or maybe, creates situations which people wouldn't want. So it's a really nice thing when it does happen. As I say, for the Russian conquest gameplay around EPICENTER, it's all across these split levels. You can see above me here, look, see these scaffolding, and a lot of people get up on these scaffolding poles. You've got a pathway around here that goes underground, steps up here on the main highway. You can see all the broken road is destroyed, opened up all over the place. And then moving up more towards this hotel over here, you then go into these kind of close corridor combat. So the map has got a lot of everything going on it. This doorway here, I think you can destroy that blue doorway that I just walked past, because there is a corridor that runs behind that there. But EPICENTER so far is definitely one that everyone has been enjoying. I think it's one of the more enjoyable maps out of them overall. My only criticism so far, and as I say, this may be simply from a console point of view. I think for PC players, it may not be such a problem. Some of the larger maps can feel a little bit too large, but again, I think that's probably just a console problem. I don't think it's a problem with the game overall. And something that I was quite surprised about, though, is with some of the larger conquest maps and stuff, a huge amount of bases. We'll have a look at that later on. It's an interesting one. That. So you can see again flanking around here, this is Conquest on EPICENTER, and this is one of the flags up here. You have to walk up a couple of walkways to get here. You can access it from the highway or from the construction site over there. These guys camping in here. Managed to clear 2 out, and then we moved back in again and clear up what's left over. But so far we've had such good games. Every game that we've played has been really, really fantastic, really intense. Now that may be just because of the kind of people that get attracted to my server, and everyone wants to play the objective really, really hard. And so for that reason we've had a lot of really hard objective gameplay on my server today, which I have to say has been extremely enjoyable. But so far this DLC is absolutely brilliant. Everybody should get it. If you were to buy any DLC this year, you should buy this. I can guarantee that if you enjoy Battlefield, if you enjoyed the original Battlefield maps, and if you enjoyed Karkand, you will absolutely love this. It's not like Close Quarters or Armored Kill where there's a bit of, you know, we're not too sure. These are proper, good, hard Battlefield maps. They are absolutely awesome, and I don't think you're going to get sick of these anytime soon. I think there's a huge amount of gameplay to be gained from them. They're not so heavily bottlenecked that you can't play them on Rush or Conquest. You know, they're very adaptable, and you can work with them in all sorts of different situations. So honestly, excellent, excellent. Okay, now we move on to Azadi Palace, and or Azadi, I'm still not sure about the pronunciation. You know me, my pronunciation. This is a really great one as well. For Rush and the Conquest, Rush and Conquest play out very differently on this map. I don't know how that guy managed to not kill me there. The Rush gameplay on this one, it's very straight down the road kind of gameplay. I'm trying to think of a good example of what it would be like. Imagine, it's kind of like Grand Bazaar. I think this is what people said, it's what Grand Bazaar should have been. This map, it feels a little bit like Grand Bazaar, but without the bottlenecking, I think is what I would say. There's enough routes around. You've got kind of 2 parallel roads running down for the most part. You can see these roads. This is Conquest now. Look how many bases for console. 5 bases. It's a huge amount of bases for console, and the size of this map is absolutely massive. But now we move up towards the palace area itself, and look at this. This huge building. Look at the scale of it. It's absolutely massive. Look at this. Huge dome structure. This is the Palace Hotel itself, and you can move upstairs into the area here. And you can see again, look at the scale, wide open, huge amounts of vehicles. Again, PC players will be in their element with this. It's going to be absolutely amazing for PC players. Moving up to 32 and 64 players with the amount of vehicles and combat that you have going on here, this will be absolutely amazing. And you can see we move up here now into the actual palace area itself. And you can see up here, this is one of the bases up here, and it gives you an excellent overview over the whole of the rest of the map. Real good sniper or bipod LMG spot, or even if you want to have some engineers up here, perhaps even a SOFLAM javelins, you'll be raining down death on the vehicles. Okay, now we're coming up to the last map, and that is Talah Market. Now, Talah Market, I've found so far, is extremely claustrophobic. There's a lot of, again, we see all this broken concrete destruction. It's an ongoing theme throughout the whole Aftermath DLC, is a lot of ruined buildings, destruction all over the place. It really feels excellent. You really feel like you're crawling proper guerrilla urban combat. It's really, really good. Talah is extremely close quarters, though. What you have is, for Conquest anyway, you have an orbital road which runs all the way around, and that surrounds the central market area of all these other markets. And so obviously that road is very important to control. When you're playing Conquest, you have vehicles to run around that. When you're playing Rush, it's a bit more linear, but again, there's a lot of different routes you can take with Rush. It's very difficult. A lot of controls, a huge amount of close quarter combat. So the Rush game mode is all about close quarters for Talah Market, and the Conquest one, a little bit more open, a little bit more normal Battlefield gameplay. Not a huge amount of destruction on Talah, though, I should say. I mean, you can still blow things up, but it's not overall as destructive as some of the other maps. So we're just coming towards wrapping up the end here, and I have to say, so far, I absolutely love Aftermath. For the most part, I wouldn't want to give too much criticism to it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think it does so much right. I think it's absolutely what people will be wanting. What they've wanted all along is to have a really strong DLC. I think the only thing that I could say is I wish it had 1 or 2 extra maps, because if they'd done a couple more maps in this similar vein, I think people will love it. And if they take this on into the endgame DLC, then it's just going to be another hit. I think they've really hit the nail on the head with this Aftermath, to be sure. And as far as I say, get it. Seriously, get it. If you wanted something, if you're a bit disappointed with Armored Kill, and I have to say, I think most people were, including myself, I think it wasn't so well thought through, but I think that is not the case with Aftermath. I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. Good overview. I've got tons more content coming up tomorrow, all my map overviews. I hope you'll join me for that, and I've got some round breakdowns and so on, and then I'll only be continuing to produce more work for the